Sometimes life will test you in ways you never imagined. It will take from you, break you, push you to the very edge of giving up. But here is the truth. Your beginning does not define your ending. No matter how dark your path becomes, no matter how alone you feel, there is always a light waiting ahead, if only you refuse to give up. This is not just a story, it is a reminder that pain is not the end and greatness can rise from the deepest suffering. In a peaceful city, where the sun kissed the earth each morning, lived a young girl named Faith. She was the only child of her parents, and they loved her deeply. Her parents tried so hard to get a child of their own, and so to them, Faith was everything, their joy, their pride, their future. Her mother would gently braid her hair each morning, while her father reminded her, "You are destined for greatness." And so Faith grew up in love, in laughter, in hope. But one day, everything changed. Her parents dropped her at school like always, smiling as they drove away to attend a friend's birthday party. They never returned. A terrible accident took their lives that same day. Faith waited and waited after school, but no one came. Her world shattered into silence. The extended family sat down after the funeral was done and decided Faith was to live with his aunt. Faith was taken to live with her aunt, Auntie Anna. But instead of love, she found cruelty. She became a servant in the house. She woke up at midnight to fetch water, cooked, cleaned, washed clothes, ran errands, prepared meals, every single day, without rest. She dropped out of school because, according to her aunt, it was a waste of money to put her into school, and woe betides her if she broke a plate or cooked meals late. She was beaten mercilessly by both her aunt and her cousins. Some neighbors noticed her suffering. They tried to speak to Auntie Anna, but she would rain insults and curses on anyone who dared question her. So they stopped coming, and Faith endured it all alone. Through all the pain and torture, the spirit of her dead mother never left her side. Faith would sometimes feel a presence. The spirit of her mother was always standing quietly beside her, watching, crying. Tears that said what words could not. "I am so sorry you have to endure this, my daughter. This is not the life we wanted for you." Yet, even in sorrow, her presence brought Faith strength. Years passed in pain until one afternoon changed everything. On her way to the market, Faith saw a young girl being bullied by her classmates. Faith, who was brought up with good morals by her parents, couldn't walk away without helping the poor girl. Even with all her suffering, her heart was still kind. She stepped in to defend the girl, but the bullies turned on her. They beat both girls mercilessly and left them lying weak on the ground. Passers-by found them and rushed them to the hospital. Soon, the parents of the bullied girl arrived to the hospital upon hearing what had happened to their daughter. Wealthy, powerful, and deeply worried. She was their only daughter. When their daughter regained some strength, she narrated all that happened to her parents and also asked them to check on Faith. "She saved me. She helped me," pointing to Faith. They went to Faith's bedside to thank her. But when they asked Faith about the whereabouts of her parents, she broke down into tears. Through the tears, she told them everything. Her parents' death, her aunt's cruelty, her stolen childhood. They couldn't hold back their tears. That very day, they made a decision. They would take Faith in as their own daughter. After all, they needed a sibling for their only daughter. From that day, Faith's life changed. She was taken to a big mansion. She had her own room, a big and spacious room with comfortable bed to relax on. She was taken back to one of the best high schools. She studied day and night. She remained humble, focused, and determined. Faith graduated high school with excellence, gained admission into one of the best universities to study medicine. Her childhood dream was alive again, and this time, nothing could stop her. Faith became one of the top students, finally graduated. She passed every exam and finally earned her license. And finally, she became a doctor. But while Faith rose and excelled in everything, her aunt's household fell apart. After Faith left, no one cared to find her. Auntie Anna would say, "Let her go, hunger will bring her back." But hunger never did. Instead, her 2 daughters became pregnant, not even knowing who the fathers were as they were juggling between men. The responsibility of taking care of her daughters and grandkids was upon her. They dropped out of school. Her only son joined a gang of robbers and was shot during a robbery one night. When she heard the news, Auntie Anna collapsed. She was rushed to the hospital, and guess which hospital she was rushed to? The same hospital where Faith was working. As if that alone was not enough, the doctor assigned to her case was Faith. When Auntie Anna finally regained consciousness, she looked at the doctor but didn't recognize her. Faith looked closely, then softly said, "Auntie Anna?" Her aunt frowned. "Who are you? How do you know me?" Faith smiled. "It's me, Faith." Shock filled the room. "How is this possible?" her aunt gasped. "I thought you had followed your dead parents to the grave." Faith let out a small laugh. "Was that what you wished for me?" She stood tall. "Well, I'm so sorry to disappoint you, but I am alive. And not only am I alive, I am doing well with a family who loves and considers me their own." Tears streamed down her aunt's face. She confessed everything that had happened after Faith left. Her struggles, her regrets, her pain, and how her home has fallen apart. Soon, Auntie Anna's daughters came to visit. When they saw Faith dressed as a doctor, shame overwhelmed them. They couldn't even stay. They ran out of the hospital. Faith just laughed and shook her head while they ran out. She turned to her aunt and said, "You reap what you sow. This is the seed you planted, and so enjoy the fruit it has bared. I hope you get better, but I don't feel sorry for any, not after all that you put me through. I will take care of you as your doctor, but that's where it ends." Her aunt cried and asked for her forgiveness, but it was too late. Faith later met a handsome surgeon who was head over heels for her at the hospital. They dated for some time and finally got married. Faith got her happy ending and lived happily with her husband. Life is unpredictable. Those who mock you today may stand before you tomorrow in need. No matter how hard life becomes, never lose your kindness, your humility, or your dream, because just like Faith, your pain can become your greatest testimony.